Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to European Racing Series Tier 2 on the PC. This is round number 17, and we are at the Sochi Autodrome for the Russian Grand Prix. It has hosted the Russian Grand Prix since its inception in 2014, and the circuits remained unchanged in that time. The lap record was set by Lewis Hamilton in 2019, and he's won the first ever Russian Grand Prix here as well, with Valtteri Bottas winning the last one, so it should be very interesting for the drivers tonight. 18 corners make this Sochi circuit, with 6 to the left and 12 to the right, with 2 DRS zones. 1 at the start between turn 1 and 2, and 1 between turn 10, 11 and 12. And we have 3 compounder tyres as usual, but we've got the second softest lot of tyres brought to the Pirelli range this evening, which is the C4s, which is the soft, the C3s, which is the mediums, and the hards, which is the C2s. And tyre deck is not too bad around this circuit, so that means we could see, almost certainly, we're going to see a one-stop race. So, without further ado, let's get started with this qualifying session, as long as I change the settings around. So there we go. So we've already got a penalty from Sleet. He's got a 5-place grid penalty for some reason in a collision with someone. So I think there's already people trying to race already, and it's not even the race. So very intriguing there. We've had also quite a few penalties as well from last race, which I'll go through in a minute as well. But we're seeing quite a few people on a mixture of strategies right now. Most people on the soft, but we have 2 people, Walter and Cryptic, on the mediums. It's nice to see Cryptic back this week, and also Bitto, 2 of our championship contenders. So we have to wait and see what they do come the race. So we are going to follow Racebug actually on a lap. If I just find the Russia hot lap. Nope. So here we go, as he makes his way through the long straight, one of the longest straights on the calendar. The first braking zone going into turn 2. Flat out kink to the right, where you'll be arriving at almost 210 miles per hour, braking down to 3rd gear. Aim for the right front at the red and right inside curbing. You're going to head past turn 3 now, and heading in towards turn 4, which is one of the main overtaking opportunities. A 180-degree high-speed left-hander. Heading to another Stratus complex into turn 5, braking a straight line to avoid locking up, and just after the 100-meter board. You'll now be heading towards one of the first 90-degree corners in Sochi into turn 6. And then heading towards turn 7 and 8 here. And then just at the left here, you're going to go towards turn 9. And then heading in towards the start of turn 10, as that's where it approaches the DRS zone. Go on the power as soon as you're on the apex. Turn 12 is gentle right kink. Has a corner only in name. And turn 3 is another left-handed kink. The turn 14 is a really heavy braking zone, as you can see just after the DRS zone. So it's very important that you get it absolutely right. Turn 15 is another 90-degree left-hand to squirt the throttle before lifting, go to 3rd gear, go to 4th, and then go back on the throttle. And then down this straight here, you'll be now approaching the final 90-degree right-handers to complete a lap. Across the start, finish straight, and that was a lap around the Sochi Autodrome this evening. And what is a lap time at 1:31.5, but TX goes on pole at the moment with a 1:30.885. That is what times we could expect to be in this evening, around about the 1:30s, 1:29s. So something to keep an eye on as the session progresses. And a few drivers to keep an eye on tonight. We've got 19 drivers. We haven't got quite the full grid tonight, but it's great to see still some great lobbies among us. So we'll look at the championship standings right now. A lot of people are on their in-laps. Actually, no, Sebi could be on his fly lap, but he has invalidated. What about Nick Sarna? Nick Sarna's on a lap, so let's just follow him right now. He's got a Haas car in front of him, so it may make things quite tricky for him, but we'll find out soon anyway. So, Alex Bitto is leading the championship with 260 points, a 23-point gap to Cryptic in second. Third is TX606 with 113 points. 4th place is Terrible Bob with 72 points. 5th place is Kalissa with 71 points. 6th place is Domi with 61. 7th is Sebi with 49. 8th is Racebug with 44. Valo is 9th with 32. Nixana is 10th with 30. Then we got Meto in 11th with 28. Furball is 12th with 27. 13th is Azia with 26. 14th is Set with 23. 15th is Max Fawn with 22. 16th is Bert with 14. 17th is Rafa with 11. Sleeps with 2 points with Bert in 19th. And Mark Grunder is in last place. Unfortunately, Mark Grunder cannot be here tonight in the Racing Point. So filling in for him is Roms in the other Racing Point. I believe he hasn't raced in a while. So it'll be great to see him back on the racetrack right now. And he's going into the pits now because he's just finished his in lap. We've also got one of the Mercedes not here tonight. I need to check which Mercedes it is. And that is Burke not here tonight. So fitting in his place tonight is Verstappen, and he's in the Mercedes. No, not him. He's in the Alfa Tauri. There he is. And again, I do like the Mercedes look on the car this season. And they're keeping it next season as well. So I'm really, really happy about that. And unfortunately, the time zone pop up. So I had to keep an eye on the left-hand side just a little bit more. But at the moment, Alex Bitto is on pole position, surprise, surprise, with a 1:30.097. Now, I need to actually check to see if what the weather is going to be like for the race. Hopefully, it's not going to rain, because rain and Russia do not mix. People finding it a lot tricky. I find rain in Russia hard in itself, to be honest. There's only a few overtaking opportunities, really, around here as well. So you've got to get your qualifying absolutely nailed. And with a low tyre wear, if you mess up, then it's pretty much game over. So I'm actually going to go through the penalties as well, because there were a few Stewart's verdicts from last week that a lot of these guys were involved in, and I usually don't tell the verdicts, but usually I do. So let me just have a look at them. There's quite a lot into two, so be warned about that. So there was an incident between Rafa and Nixana, and the verdict for that was no further action. The lack of sound makes it difficult to judge. There was also a no further action between the incident. It's between Birkin and Rafa as well. There was also an incident between Rafa and Nixana, changed to 1 penalty point. A hard-hearted move, either send or don't, instead of being hesitant and tapping his rear wheel. Let me just follow someone else, actually, because someone else is on their outlap. So there we go, as Kulesa just coming out of the pit. There was another incident as well between Sleeps and Birkin. Sleeps got 3 penalty points because Sleeps went into the back of the Williams. I think I caught that on stream, and it looked very, very obvious that Sleeps was at fault there. There was 1 penalty point for Logica between the incident between him and Rafa, and I couldn't read the reason there as well. And Domi actually has a quali ban for the next race he's attend, which is tonight. So that's why he did not set a lap time due to the incident that he had with Kulasa. There was also an incident between Raceberg and Azia as well. And Raceberg got 2 penalty points. Small mistake, big consequences, unfortunate. And Nixana got 3 penalty points for an incident with Kulasa. And that was it. There was quite a lot in Tier 2 last week. And it was Singapore. So, to be honest, I wasn't that surprised. Hopefully, we don't get as much incidents this week. But you never know. I probably jinxed myself there as well. Quite a few people just warming their tyres. And don't forget, guys, they only have 3 soft tyres to use in qualifying. So, they only have a chance to go for 3 proper runs. I don't know why the hards do... well, unless you're on the softer compound where you have all 4 runs, but I don't know if many people would use a soft, because you would hardly have any hards, and you would want to have a little bit of a contingency plan if your race is not going to plan. So if I were you, probably balance, because softer mediums is what most people would do around this track as well. So everyone has set a lap time apart from 17th place man Sebi, who is on his lap at the moment. Now, I won't be surprised to see a few more invalidations. So, for some of these guys, it's just a banker time. So, for the hard... So I believe... yeah, 1 hard set in softer as well. Oh, okay. So you have 3 softs and 1 hard. I can understand why, but I wonder why I didn't put that in harder, but there you go. That is something that I'll probably take into consideration a bit more, actually. So, thanks for the heads up for that, Domi. I think that's how I say your name, but there we go. But anyway, 7 minutes left to go. A lot of work to do now. Watch out for the blinding sun in turn 1. I mean, the sun is so bright, you can barely see it. So, just like Austria, so the braking zones it's going to be hard as well. Not as blinding as Austria, though. Austria is just too blinding. But there we go. I know I might have repeated that twice, but there you go. Still quite open in terms of the qualifying session. So, anything really could... Ooh, I've muted myself. I don't want that. Anything could happen with these drivers. You know, I've seen some of these drivers practicing the other day, and they've been putting some consistent laps, but all it counts is the race. If you mess up in the race, then that's it. That is pretty much game over. Oh, okay, Dummy. So you have 1 hardest and softer as well. 4 softs, but in the race you have 1 medium and 1 hard. Okay. Okay. But in order to go on the softest compound, the softer option in the game, you've got to be confident. You've got to be confident you're not going to make any mistakes. So that's why I rarely go on the softer option. So, because otherwise you're not going to have as many tyres. You're only going to have softs used in the race, and you know, it's good if you don't make any mistakes. If you don't make any mistakes, then this could work wonders for you. But don't forget, you've got to use at least 1 other different compound in the race. So you can't go on softs. You have to go on softs. You've got to go on mediums or hards as well. So, and for most people, they'll go onto the medium compound of tyres. So look at our championship rival. One of our championship rivals, Cryptic now. He's got a 23-point gap now. And after missing last week, he knows he needs to do all he can because his championship rival is sitting there right at the top. And he's down last of the qualifiers. And that is, to be honest, that is not where you want to be at this early stage. So Cryptic will need to work a bit on his lap. He needs to find a whole second as Bitto goes fastest again with a 129.8. So the first driver to get into the 129s this evening. Would anybody else go into the 129s? I don't know. I think quite a lot of people will, but never say never. TX on his outlap as well. Some people are actually leaving it a little bit early to get on their final laps. I'm guessing they want to leave an extra lap on the table just in case they bottle it. But sometimes I know I'm confident enough, and usually I only tend to invalidate during time trials, but there's some times where I'm like, I make so many mistakes and I'm like, oh god damn it, I should have not made those mistakes. And our championship lead is currently on his outlap as well. Now, traffic is going to be a very important factor here as well. I've seen in quite a lot of races this week that I've commentated in that for the drivers that leave it too late, then it just causes a lot of issues. It just frustrates the commentators, and it also frustrates the drivers as well. But anyway, 3 minutes left to go. And as Raggy would like to say, it is the calm before the storm. And Bitto's going on one of his final runs now. So is Kalusa as well. Actually, Kalusa just about to start his outlap. A lot of people leaving it to roughly about now. If you're going roughly about now, you should have time to get one more lap in. But with Bitto, I think Bitto maybe being less confident about that track. But he's probably a lot more confident now that he's on pole position. Watch out for turns 1 to 4 though. It's going to get chaos if people make mistakes. So they've got to nail it. They've they're going to know that the race is not won in lap 1. They can take risks towards the end, but maybe hold off a little bit in lap 1. We shall see. We shall see. And let us know your predictions in the chat. Who you think is going to be doing well in the race. As Bitto had it invalidate, so that's not what you want. Is anyone else on a lap right now that I can follow potentially? No, I think most people are about to start one. So we're going to keep an eye on the track map as we possibly can here. Just to see, because I find it hard around here. But you can see a lot of cars in particular around the final part of Sector 3. We have an Alfa, a Red Bull, and a McLaren, I think, as well. So yeah, I've just got to say, Ben's helmet is amazing. I can tell you the truth. It looks pretty cool. A lot of people, I think, tweet their designs tonight. Who wants me to do a helmet review at the end of the season? And then best helmet gets something from me, or just pride or whatever. That'll be quite cool. So any of you know that's watching, let us know. And Ben is retired somewhere. I think he was happy with his lap, or he can't go any quicker as he goes into the pits. I'm guessing. Or he might have just binned it somewhere, I'm not entirely sure. But that still leaves about 16 drivers still to set their final laps. A few people, it is one-shot quali now because they invalidated their last runs. So they got to get into the 129 if they want to stand a chance on pole. They got to get in the 130s if they want to get into the top 10. You know, they can't not be in the 130s. So Roms, Sebi, Walter, they need to get out of that. Roms is very close actually into getting into the 130s. He just needs to find 6 100ths of a second, and then that's it for him. But anyway, we've got a Alfa Romeo about to cross the line. Let me just have a look. It is, well, I thought it was Racebird, but it's Kalusa as he starts his final lap. And the next person to cross the line will be a McLaren driver, I think, which is, no, but it's not a McLaren driver, it's a Renault driver. I'm losing track with the colours. And Bitto has invalidated and he can't improve on his time. So it will have to be maybe Cryptic or Azir as he goes into the pits too. A lot of people are retiring actually. So it's Cryptic as well. So what about the Racing Point of Roms? He does get into the 130s. That's what you're talking about. And he's found just a few tenths on that. That's crazy. What about his teammate Sebi? He unfortunately had invalidated. As Walter goes through turn 10 now. His Harvard, Bitto's teammate, manages 4, which is a respectable lap time from him. Set. He comes across the final corner now. What can he do in the Mercedes? He doesn't he does improve, okay, but he does not improve in position. That's why I've got a little bit of confused look there. So the only people that can set a lap is Kalusa and Walter. So Walter now, he needs to get into the 130s really, if he wants to stand a good chance. Let's see if we can do 7 tenths quicker, but it was I think it was invalidated. His best time was a 131.103, so it must have been an invalidation. Oh no, it was fine. Walter and Sebi just swapped places, I was just not paying attention. So he did improve, okay. So, your pole man for this race then, if it will let me go to it, which it won't, because he's retired, is Harbour's teammate, Bitto, once again. Bitto has got quite a lot of pole positions this season, and to be honest, he's very, very glad to add to that. And we got Azir in second as well, and we got Ben in third. And so we'll go through the rest of your standings as well. I did see someone got a 5-place grid penalty. I didn't quite see who it was. That was Sleeps, yeah, I remember. So it's Bitto first, Azir second, Ben in third, Harvard fourth, Sleeps fifth, Cryptic sixth, TX 7th, Set 8th, Calista 9th, Rompt in 10th. Then we've got Maverick, Birkin, Max Form, Raceberg, Value, Walter, Sebi, who have had lap time sorted, and then people did not set lap time in Ixana and Domi due to qualifying bans. So, you're just going to wait for a second because I have got to get myself a drink just before the formation lap. So, we are going to be in for a crazy race, I've got to say. Hopefully, there'll be some overtakes tonight. And I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we are back then, just in time for the formation lap. What good timing that we have here in ERS. Welcome back, and 27 laps await us. And we're going to see what people from outside the top 10 are going to be starting their laps on. So let's have a look. So, well, they're race or not laps. What are you on about? But anyway, quite a mixture. So, people on the alternate strategy are, so we've got Maverick on the mediums, Birkin on the mediums. Oh, no, what? Oops. Birkin on the mediums. We got Max Thorn on the mediums as well, so sharing strategies with his teammate. Value on the mediums, Volta on the mediums, and we've also got Nixana on the mediums. Everyone inside the top 10 is on the softs, as well as Racebug, Sebi, and the person in last place, Domi. So there we go then. Now, people outside the top 10 on the soft strategies could be a little bit of a disadvantage over the others, mainly because they're not going to be as fast towards the end of the race when they get caught up, and they're most likely going to be lapped as well. So they're going to hope that they don't get caught up in accidents. If they don't get caught up in accidents, this could work really well for them. So let us know your predictions. Who do you think is going to be winning this race? As a lot of these drivers are starting to warm up their tyres just a little bit more as well. Just get a little bit of heat into them. And we wish all 19 drivers who are racing in this tier tonight the best of luck as well. So we are on for probably quite close racing. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah. And I predict that one of these 19 drivers will win the race. Oh, Cam, oh my goodness. But anyway, here we go then. All 19 drivers are going on the grid now. It is nice and dry. No rain to be in sight for these drivers at the moment. But will it stay like this for the whole race? Or will they have to suffer changeable conditions like I have seen in most of the Russia races I have commentated on? So, the lights didn't mess about tonight. We got 5 red lights here in Sochi, and it's lights out, and away we go, as Crofty would like to say. And as you got a poor start, Bitto's got a really great start as they head towards turn 1. Now heading into the long straight of coming up towards turn 2 now. Ben's also had a good start as well, but he's under pressure from Bitto's teammate of Harvard up behind as well. But we've already got a bit of front wing damage from the cars at the background. Oh, it might be a loss of end plate, I'm not entirely sure. You can see Max Thorn, I think, got caught up in an incident as well. So where is he now? Max Thorn is down into 17th place. And you can see there's quite a lot of people taking a lot of risks here, especially at the back. And let's go back to the front as the top three starting to pull away just a little bit. But we got Cryptic. He's on the nose of Harvard. Cryptic wants to join his fight. Cryptic knows he can see his championship rival ahead of him, and he doesn't want to have Bitto. He wants to have Bitto in his sights, basically, so he could overtake him as well. And TX is right behind as well, but Kalissa is doing very, very well, trying to go around the inside of Cryptic, and there he goes. Kalissa's up to 5th place already. Sensational stuff. And we already got a yellow flag, and that is Valu who spun there, heading towards turn 13, so that is a bit of an unlucky timing for him. Roms, unfortunately, has had some bad luck as well, dropped down into 11th position. He's trying to make his way past Domi into the final corner, just past the 90-degree left-hander. And we've got the timing screens messed up again, so we do apologise about that. Hopefully it does get fixed. So all we know is Bitto leads, Azzy is second, and we don't know who's in third. I think Ben's in third. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it is. It is Ben in third, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure on that, Matt. But anyway, we've got a battle emerging. Oh my god, it's going to be too wide. Soon as a Ferrari has lost his front wing, and we got an AlphaTauri that's spun Nats Lixana. The AlphaTauri's day has gone from bad to worse, and he's just left Anton to dry, unfortunately. So he's down in 18th position. And I think he's going to lose a lot of downforce here, and he will have to go into the pit lane, as well as Max Thorne has also dropped down positions as well. So he's 5/10 behind Volta. We've got our first time penalty of the session. I had a feeling it wouldn't take long for the first time penalty to show up, and that was from Roms. As I do see a Ferrari going side by side as well, but we've got a battle brewing between TX and Cryptic as well, and Domi and... So I've got to say, great start from Domi, starting in 19th place. That's already made up 10 positions of the start line up into the 9th, which is crazy, especially on the mediums. I was not expecting him to have a good start like that. So already he's showing why he deserves to be here, and he's turning into, I would say, a Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton type driver, as Sleet has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately, so it won't be the first time we see that tonight as well. Max Thorne also goes into the pits as well. Max will change onto the hards, I think, and Sleet has changed onto the hards as well. You can see Domi and Set already go side by side into turn 3. Can Domi make yet another position? Yes, he can. Domi is absolutely flying. Don't forget, Domi is on the soft tyres, so he's going to have disadvantage towards the end, but he's already caught up to most of the soft runners, so he's in a good position right now. And he's setting fastest laps. He's gone purple in sector 1, I think, as well. So very, very impressive as they head towards sector 2. Just look at the train of cars there. Still quite close, but Bitto is already pulling away from Azia at the moment. 1.7 seconds is the gap to him. So that should be very, very intriguing, to say the least, between those two. TX and Cryptic having a battle again. TX just makes a move on Cryptic into the DRS zone. And Cryptic gets down to P7. But look at this. Domi, he is on the warpath. He wants that position so badly. Goes to the left. Oh, he almost made a mistake there. Cryptic spins. Oh, no. I think that was just very, very unlucky, I think, from both of them. But I think Cryptic was caught off guard there as well. So that means Cryptic is dropped down to 14th. It was almost some very close racing. I would probably have to watch the replay to see who was at fault, but to be honest, I can't tell from the camera angle who was definitely at fault there. So Cryptic, unfortunately, he is at a disadvantage compared to the other soft runners, and his tyres are going to be at a very hot stage right now. And you can see, I think Sebi, let me just go on board with them at the moment. Sebi and Birkin having a nice battle into turn 2, now going heading in towards the kink of turn 3. You can see Sebi getting the inside line, he goes. But Birkin trying to take advantage of it, but unfortunately he doesn't. So Sebi stays in P12. I've got to say, some good defending by a majority of drivers at the moment. And what about Domi? Domi is just about 4 tenths away of making yet another position. as well. Imagine what Domi would have been like in qualifying. I think my prediction would have been Domi would have got pole position without a shadow of a doubt. So here comes Domi then, going side by side with the McLaren TX again. Could this be P6 for the Haas driver? Yes, it is P6 for the Haas driver. So he is looking to catch 2.1 seconds on Kaluza, which is, I think, it's not impossible for him as well. Do you have a yellow flag in sector? Oh, there's a Ferrari that is Sleeps, who has binned it somewhere. That was, I think, turn 8. Well, turn 7, actually. And, yeah, Domi already has got the fast lap of the race. And Sleeps has retired from the session. But, unfortunately, he's not meant to retire on track. So, I think he could be getting some penalty points coming his way if he's not careful as well. I think the other battle we got to watch for, I think we got 2 battles to watch out for, but the other battle we've got is between Ben and Azia, both looking good at the moment. And Cryptic, the other Red Bull driver, is fine with Walter, and Cryptic is up into P14, so Cryptic is definitely making headway at this stage as well. And no, Distinctive, actually Sam is racing in the tier below this in tier 3, so he's not, so yes. But anyway, looking strong pace at the moment. Due to those 2 battling, is allowing Harvard to come in the picture. And maybe Kaluza and Domi could fight back as well. I will predict Domi's going to get these lot as well in the next few laps. The way Domi is going, Domi is considerably faster than most of the drivers on the grid at the moment. And it's just a shame Domi didn't join at the start of the season. Imagine the challenge he could have brought to Bitto at the start of the season. That would have been amazing to see for him. Meanwhile, Domi's teammate Maverick is not doing too bad either. He's in 9th. Still in the points on the medium tyres, but he's under pressure from Roms in 10th. Don't forget, Roms does have a penalty. So I think Maverick has got to make sure that he does not get any time penalties added on to his race time. And that's the advantage of a spectator camera. You are able to keep within touching distance as we got race but behind, going side by side with Maverick, and Roms is joining in as well. This could be 3 wide. Roms, I think, will have to stay back a little bit, but he can capitalise if things go wrong. Look at this. Roms is absolutely flying. He caught both of them off guard, and now we go into turn 4 now. Roms gets 2 positions. That is incredible stuff from Roms. He just waited for the perfect opportunity. And we can also see his teammate Sebi up for a potential move as well. So the Racing Points having a good comeback. And it's great to see right now. Hopefully I have not just jinxed either of them. But there we go. And you can see the sun is shining at the Sochi Observatory actually. It is actually in the Black Sea right now. And we're actually going to look at the telemetry as well, if I just give me a second. So there we go, I've just got the telemetry up for you, just so we can see the ERS usage of the drivers. Roms is not using that much, but Racebirds coming back at him. But Roms gets the perfect switchback again. Roms, he is just... We thought that he didn't have it there as well, but it's like, you know what? You're not having that position. That 9th place is mine, so... To be honest, great job from him. Meanwhile, Harvard is trying to get past Ben. They're both going side by side. Ben's ghosted though, so I'm wondering what's happened to him. Because I think Harvard easily got past there. Unless his controller died or something, but I'm not sure. But it looks like Ben's going to come back at him though, so I think he's fine at the moment. So he might have been involved in a spin or something, I'm not sure. But we'll see anyway as they get towards turn 4. All good at this stage, but I think Ben could come back pretty soon as well. That's allowing Azia to have a comfortable buffer between himself and Harvard in P3. Pit stops will be coming up very soon. The softs last quite a bit around this track, 15 laps. But optimum pace, I would say, is around about 12 laps. So I would say pit around lap 11, 12. You did see the AWS graphics in the stream somewhere, seeing what the predicted soft strategy will be, but I wasn't paying attention at the most part. So anyway, A bit of a lock-up for Mazia. That might gain some time on Harvard a bit more. And Ben behind. And Domi's almost caught to the back of this. Calusa, though, is staying on Domi. So I won't be surprised if Calusa is matching up to Domi's pace just a little bit as well. They can't be pushing on those softs too much, because otherwise they'll have to pit early and they'll have to compromise on their strategy. Because most people would like to do soft to mediums. They don't want to do soft to hards. They would only want to do soft to hards if they feel that the soft compound and tyres can't make it to the end. Well, the hards, I mean. So, you know, it's going to be tough for these drivers. And you can see Domi's already caught up to Ben already in a space of one sector. So Domi is already showing business at the moment in the Haas car. And he could be on course to be definitely getting driver of the day the way he's going. He's just not making any mistakes at all. And that's Roms that spun into turn one. That was very unlucky. He was caught in the escape road. A few drivers got caught up there in real life, especially this year while we were watching. And a few track limits were enforced in real life. And obviously they get reinforced in the game as well. So that is a good start undone, unfortunately, for Roms. And I've got to say, overtake of the stream so far from Roms. Maybe overtake of the of the whole season so far. I am probably going to try and clip that. So, yeah, I probably just had a commentator's curse on Roms, unfortunately. And Roms said not to jinx him. So, I think Roms is going to have a go at me later on. And Harvard having a bit of a slide there. That will allow Domi to catch up by about a few attempts as well. You can see Romy in the train as well. And I think Bitter must be loving these guys battling, because he can stretch the gap just a little bit more now. The gap is 2.1 seconds. And some of these guys are not a big fan of this track. I'm not a big fan of this track race-wise, mainly because of the fact it is hard to overtake. But these drivers are managing it very, very well. Bitto's ERS on 51%. What's Azier's? It's on 16, okay. Harvard is on 14. Domi's got quite a lot on 82. How on earth was Domi saving his ERS like that? He is definitely... I know I said this a lot, but he is definitely on fire with tyre management and ERS management, I'm certain. The DLB yellow flag, that is a Williams, and I won't be surprised if that's Max Vaughan. That is Max Vaughan. And it looks like he has a puncher as well. So here goes Max Vaughan into the pits. I won't be surprised if he actually retires. And I think he does. He's probably retired on purpose. And he's blocked the pit lane. Okay, you're not meant to do that, Max. So he's doing a bit of a 360-degree U-turn. So there he goes. He was very, very lucky there to not get disqualified because... But he's retired anyway. To be honest, yeah, I'm not surprised that Max retired. So we're down to 17 drivers then. And him retiring in the pits, luckily, has not caused a safety car. And we're on lap 10 out of 27 already. And we'll go through your standings now. Bitto leads from Azia in second. Harvard in third. Domi fourth. Ben in fifth. Calusa sixth. TX in seventh. Cryptic going into the pits after his horrible evening so far. And he is doing the undercut. He's going on the mediums earlier than most drivers. So he wants to try and see if he can get ahead of these guys. So that is not a brave move, to be honest, for Cryptic, because he has something to lose. So there we go. He's done in last though. But don't forget, Roms will need to pit soon, as does a few of the soft runners. So he's going to be in a comfortable position. I can't remember how much pit lane lost time you lose around here, but it's quite a bit. But not as much as some tracks. I know in Silverstone, you lose around about 30 seconds, and you just don't want to lose that, do you? So, Cryptic then, 17.1 seconds. He could just about get ahead of Roms. So, but don't forget, some of these guys will still have to pit though. So, only time will tell. The gap at the front's been brought again, increased to 3.3. And then you get the other part of the top 5 just battling. Azir is trying his best to hold up the 3 cars behind. Valu. So we got Azir pitting as well. All the others staying out, but we got Harvard pitting. I think Harvard's going to be covering off his teammate. Kalissa pits, TX stays out, Set stays, well, goes in. So I think, obviously, because the double stacking does not work on this game the way we would have liked, sadly. So that's why some people have to stay out. Some people have been taking part. I'm surprised that some teams have opted for people lower down the field to pit first. I'm guessing because they were stuck in traffic more than the guys in front. So that's probably why. And we'll see where Cryptic is. So Cryptic's down in 17th. I don't think he's going to get ahead of these lot, but you never know. So we'll have to wait and see. Here's Cryptic now. 5 seconds. So, no. So he's still in last place. So, yeah. But we had a bit of an off from Walter, I think. So Walter's done a little bit of a spinner-rooney. He is not liking his medium tyres at all, I don't think. Or maybe he's just not liking the track. So, to be honest, he needs to get out together. Meanwhile, we're going to see what the top 5 do now. They're still yet to pit because I think they're worried that the other guys have done the undercut. So, Bitto has got to respond, but no matter what happens, I think Bitto is going to come out in front of those guys anyway. So, nothing to worry about for Bitto. But for the others, we got to watch out. So, Dommy's in, Ben's in, TX goes in as well, Racebug as well, and that's all the soft runners pitting. And I should expect Roms to do exactly the same. So, I wasn't far off my pit stop prediction for when these guys are going to pit. A lot of the pit crew are ready for their drivers. So who's going to come out ahead? So we're watching Bitto now. Is he going to come out ahead of the ones who pitted slightly? We've got Nixana and Valu still fighting. But yeah, Bitto's come out comfortably ahead of this. We can see Nixana and Valu going side by side on the medium tyres. Nicely controlled. Hopefully they don't turn into what Ocon and Perez did at Racing Point in Spa a few years ago. But luckily they didn't. And Azir, Domi and Ben, they're going to be in a lot of trouble because they got some traffic to deal with. Whereas Bitto, he's only got Birkin and Maverick, so he's got less traffic to deal with and compared to the other guys. So, and due to the AlphaTauris fighting, it's going to make things very, very difficult. So Bitto is in a very great position. Azir is not, because Azir knows that these two AlphaTauris are not going to let him pass. They don't care if Azir's on a different strategy to them. They just won't let them pass. They want to go racing. They want to fight for position. They want to hold up as much as they can, but Azir's going to go for the move anyway. So there comes Azir right now. And Azir is well on the back of Nixana. He almost got the job done, actually, as well. But he's got Domi right ahead of this train. Ben did not get good pit stop. Or he might have not warmed his tyres enough because he's already 2 seconds behind his nearest rival, Domi. So he's got a long way. He's got a long way to recover. And out of the race he took part in ERS, both in Tier 1 and Tier 2, he's only finished in 3 of them. So he's going to hope he has a better result today as Azir. Oh, what's happened there? Azir, I think, lost a bit of his end plate as well. Or one of them did. Anyway, oh my goodness, he's hit the wall. And as he's out of the session, and we got a safety car, that's going to help the medium runners. They're probably going to go onto the hard compound tyres. So Maverick and Birkin were probably praying to the safety car gods there. As Birkin is slowing down, I'm guessing he got caught up by the Delta almost certainly as well. So that's allowing all the cars to catch up a little bit as well. And to be honest, I was expecting a safety car in ERS in Tier 2 around Russia. So, you know, I was surprised it come this late. I thought it would have come near the start of the Grand Prix. So that's going to be trigger. What do the drivers do in terms of strategy? They can't go on to the another 7 millions, but the softs last 15 laps. And the safety car lasts 3 laps, so they could potentially, due to how the pace is within safety car, they could go onto the softs. I won't be surprised if they go on to the soft tyres. And I don't know why it's only showing the side pod, but there we go. But anyway, Maverick comes in. Birkin comes in as well as Valor and Ixana. So they'll put Bittu in the lead. But what will the other drivers do? Will they go on soft? Maverick goes on the softs like I predicted. What does... one of the Alpha Tauri is going on to the hard compounder tyres. That is, I believe, Value. Ixana, what is Ixana doing? I don't know why it's cutting off to random people. I think it's a problem with the game, unfortunately, the glitch, but there we go. But anyway, Wolf's on the softs, Ixana's on the softs, so is Maverick. So, I think that's it. Roms, I think, is in the medium, because obviously he started on the softs as well. So, Maverick, I think, out of everybody, Maverick, he's got... I don't know why it's not following Maverick, but there we go. Probably because a few of my keys were probably stuck. So just give me a second on that one. There we go. So Maverick has got the most to gain, I think. He is in a brilliant position on those softs. Could he be on course to be taking his first win in ERS? He could do. He could do. He's in 5th. He's got to get that job done. And could be on course getting fastest lap. If it wasn't for that safety car, he probably would have been lower down the grid. And I believe he is also a reserve driver tonight. So, that'll be just great to see a different winner. It'll just be absolutely crazy, I know. So we haven't seen that many winners, I think, this season. Only about 2 or 3. So that just goes to show why it is important. And I think the safety car is going to stay out for, I think, 2 or 3 more laps. And I wonder if things could change. We're looking at the penalties right now for the drivers. So Harbour's got 3 seconds. TX got 3 seconds. Racebug has got 6 seconds. Birkin has got 3 seconds. Walter has got 8 seconds. Ixana's got 12 seconds. Cryptid's got 6 seconds. And Roms has also got 6 seconds. Everybody else is penalty free at the moment, but they may be on a few warnings. It's a shame that you can't really check the game for warnings. Up front, you can only just check penalties. You'll have to... What I would have to do is go on to Race Director in order to do that. And we are seeing a bit of timing glitches once again, which I don't know why it's happening in the safety car period. The first time I've seen the timing glitch happen in the safety car period, to be honest. Now, next week will be the final race before we go on Christmas break. And next week, I believe, I can't remember where we are next week. I think it's Japan next week. I will need to double check that, because I almost got the track wrong last week. But luckily I didn't. But this time I will check the calendar. So I think it's next week in Japan. Yes, it is Japan next week on the 22nd. And then we come back on the 5th of January. For the United States Grand Prix. And then after that, we'll have 3 more rounds to go after that. It's just crazy that the season has just gone flying by. And we're already on migrating host as Azio has left the session. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems with the lobby. We're already seeing issues with the timing screen. So, That could be worrying. And Roms' join has got desync, so we may... I don't know what's happening with this lobby right now, but safety car still in for another lap. Hopefully the timings will fix itself as well. I think the timings are fixing itself at the moment. Yes, it is fixing itself. So on my end, at least, it's looking okay. So it's all good. But that means the safety car will be coming in this lap. I'm just going to tell Azure that lobby's fine now. It's just Cody's lobby was an issue with the timings, but lobby's fine now. So, because I can't, unfortunately, I can't mention in the chat anymore. Because I can't message in the tier 2 chat anymore, which is frustrating. But there we go. And apparently Roms is a lap behind now, which is weird. So, yeah, it's a bit... It may be glitchy for some of the drivers, actually. Hopefully it's nothing to do with the servers. Now, why is Rom saying he's 8 tenths up? That is weird. And you can't see the deltas between 1st and 6th. Okay. So, we are about to get started once again. Well, we got 12 more laps to go. Well, we got 11 laps to go after this one. And it's potentially going to be a sprint to the finish now. Will Maverick's tyres hold on? Will he be able to pull off the impossible? And will he be able to win this race? Yeah, I think something's happening with Roms' game, because the delta for Roms is still showing as 8 tenths up, the minus sign. So there must be something wrong with Roms' game or something like that. So, to be honest, I've never experienced that. Never experienced that. And Raceberg and Birkin must have had a little bit of an issue with the safety car, as Birkin has now lost a position, sadly. Sad times. But anyway. And so we now got 3 retirements now. And there's already been some stuff going. Oh, we got someone's end plate missing. I think it's Ben with Harvard, actually. So he's got a 5-second penalty, which will be served at the end of the race. Unless he can get that removed, I don't know. We don't know who's at fault, really. So we'll have to wait and see. As Maverick is out of the session. So I think that was commentator's curse for Maverick, sadly. That is very, very annoying. And yeah, Roms is getting blue flagged. Okay, game. That is not what we want to see at this late stage. Roms being lapped. Because Roms... This lobby man is causing issues for some people. I wonder if that result will still stand. But anyway, Bitto got a good restart as well. Bitto and Domi, the only drivers without penalties in the top 6. That will allow Kalusa potentially to gain a podium as well. I wonder if some drivers will be going to the pits. I wonder if some drivers got a penalty within, got damage within that safety car. I'm a bit raffled. I'm still a bit raffled about this. But, yeah. And we do have a yellow flag, which is a McLaren, and that is Volta, I think, down in P14. Oh, no, not him. Him. There we go. So, unfortunately, Volta's day has gone from bad to worse, but Bitto's day is going from good to great at the moment. He just set the fastest lap of the race. And my pop filter has just gone off, so there we go. There we go. So, we're on 10 laps to go now. Anything can happen in Formula 1, as I like to say quite a few times as well. And we could potentially see a battle for the podium start to emerge. But Kalusa needs to get a move on. If he wants to get that podium away for some drivers, he's got to get closing up to TX. So he is struggling a little bit on his mediums. The ones that it's going to benefit are the ones who have been on newer tyres, which we know will definitely make it to the end. They can push towards the end, whereas everybody else may start to serve just a little bit. And it's a shame for Maverick to be running so well and then his first race of the ERS. Apparently he got brake checked or something. Where was Maverick behind in front of? Actually, no, yeah, where was Maverick behind? We'll have to look. The viewers will probably look back at the stream to see what has happened. But I think there will be a lot of investigations, a lot of complaints, I think, as well. And DRS is enabled, but it's starting to get a little bit more overcast. Seta just got another time penalty, so update on penalties once again. As Roms has retired from the session, but to be honest, I'm not surprised. The game putting him a lap down when it's not his fault, it's just very annoying. And Set as... oh, careful, Set, as they all make it through turn one. I just hope they don't go 3 wide. Oh my god, they're going to try and make it 3 wide at least. Just... as Volta has got a 10-second penalty. And then Volta's got another 5-1. So Volta's on 33. Volta's got another 10. Oh my goodness. He's getting lows at the moment. I won't be surprised if he gets disqualified. But if he gets disqualified, he has not earned it in the slightest. Because he's worked, I think, so hard to try and get a position, and he's just it's just not worked well, to be honest. Harbour's on 8 seconds as well. TX on 3. So, you know, Kalusa could still get P4, maybe P3 potentially. I know I've said that before. And we are about to start lap 20 of lap 27, so at the moment soon we'll have 8 laps to go, as Raceberg has got a 3-second time penalty as well. So he's now got 9 seconds. And Ben is pushing. You can see the end's in sight for him. 134.2 as he sets the fastest lap of the race so far. He's chasing down Domi. Maybe Ben is looking much more comfortable in the Mercedes car at the moment. Harbour looking comfortable in... Since I think Harbour has joined ERS, I think Harbour's done very well, improved every race as well. But again, we will have to wait and see. And I think it was Nick Sana, I think, that was involved with the battle with him and Maverick, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, no, it wasn't. That was the battle between Azu and Nick Sana during that brought the safety car. So that probably will be investigated, that incident. But anyway, Nick Sana has made the move past Kalusa then. So Nick Sana is up into 6th place. He's got 12 seconds though, which again is quite difficult for him. So. And you can see that penalties will mean everything. We'll see more people getting fastest laps. So the track is going to be at I think, most grippiest right now, which I think, you know, that's why it's causing the fast laps. And it's getting the track temperature a little bit hotter as well. Bitto performing amazingly today. But Domi actually is catching up to Bitto. So we're seeing a driver that's done potentially well in qualifying, that could have done well in qualifying, matching up to Bitto's pace right now. And Rolters out of the session. I think Rolters has given up. And we've got a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Another safety car. So, what would I do if I were the drivers? Medium runners? I don't know, because the ones on the side... how many people on the softs? Only Nixana. Oh, I think, risk it for a chocolate biscuit. I think some of these drivers would probably go into the pits right now, change and go on the softs and go to the end. And Rom's in the chat not feeling very happy with himself. Well, to be honest, mate, I don't know what happened really for the game to get you a lap down. Hopefully Cody sorts something out or something. You can find the footage and then, you know, because it sucks, really, to be honest. But in a way, it happens. As we've got some people staying out. So Ben is in the pits. He's got another 5-second penalty, so that adds up to 10 seconds. Right now. But he's going to serve one of it in the pit lane. He's the only one going to the pits. I guess he wants to get rid of it. I guess he wants to get rid of one of his penalties. So he goes onto the softs. I think he's the only driver to go onto the softs as well. And obviously he can't get the 5-second penalty removed as well, which is a bit of a shame. So your race order then is Bitto leads from Domi. And they're not taking the risk of pitting the softs. But to be honest, I think in a way I can see why they do not want to pit on this occasion. Mainly because it is hard to overtake. We have seen Maverick who also pitted onto the soft compound tyre. And he's struggling to overtake. So I think the ones who stayed out have probably benefited more, I think. So to be honest, the battle for the win here is going to be between Bitto and Domi. Who do you think is going to win this one? Who do you think is going to win this race between Domi and Bitto? Because I think those are the only two that can do it right now. And is the safety car... Actually, no, I don't think the safety car is going to come in this lap. I don't know. Because let me just go on board with Bitto and see. I don't think the safety car is coming in. I think they're just waiting for a few more drivers to catch up. I think it's Birkin, Raceberg and Set. Everybody else has caught up to the safety car. So I wonder how this is going to turn out. This is going to be like a 5-lap lobby, but hopefully cleaner. So as Cryptic goes... Oh, Ben's in the pits. I think he's given up. I think he's given up, folks. I won't be surprised if he's given up. Or does he want to serve his 5-second stop go? I wonder if he wants to serve his 5-second stop go. But he's probably going to be very annoyed if the safety car comes in this lap. Because how on earth he's going to catch up, I don't know. But that is very brave for Ben to do that. As Ben, I think, comes out. Yeah, I think that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to serve his 5 seconds in the pit lane. But luckily, he did not speed in the pit lane anymore. So, you know, he's served all his penalties now. So he's completely clear apart from that. It's going to be tight, but you never say never. Anything can happen in Formula 1. And at least he's not giving up. It's very important that you do not give up. And I think Benny's going to catch up quite a bit, actually. So he's going to count himself very, very lucky, I think. So, yeah, he's done the right thing now. And he's going to go ahead of quite a few drivers as well. I think if the safety car come in this lap, he probably would have given up. But anyway, who is going to get the better launch of the line? Is it going to be Bitto? Or is it going to be Domi? We'll have to find out. Let us know your thoughts. And also, give us an indication on where of who we think we should rate. Now, I don't know why it's showing random cars. I think the lobby is glitched on the spectator today. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. It might due to be what's happened. But anyway, safety car is in this lap. It might be due to the fact that my wheel is plugged in at the same time because I'm leaning on it. So that's probably why. So I do apologise. But anyway, Bitto leads. Can he get a good restart? He has got to get a good restart here. I couldn't catch the restart from last time. So only time will tell what can happen here. So here he goes then. Bitto gets a very good restart, but so does Domi as well, as they all start the final few laps of this Russian Grand Prix for European Racing Series. But look at this, Domi is really charging towards turn 1, now heading into turn 2. He's going to get a really good exit, but Bitto tries to cover off with a slipstream. I think there's quite a few people that's also got a good restart. Nick Sarna's dropped back a bit from Harvard. And he also got a 3-second time penalty as well. Ben has got he passed his teammate up since P12. Cryptic as well. Has got a lot of work. I think we're seeing more penalties starting to emerge here as we've got a battle between Racebug and Ben. Oh, it's going to be close towards, I think, turn 6 and 7. And heading towards this complex. But I think he just about gets it there. So he's up into 11 now, 1 place. And then he's got the points. Some of these guys have got to pull off a really good gap if they don't want to drop quite a few positions. Because, I think Russia is one of those tracks where it can really definitely decide. It can really make or break you in this race. And it really is gonna. They really want to start to push. But with the DRS trains and the slipstream trains emerging as well, it's going to be hard for some of these drivers just to pull away. So I think Bitto could potentially pull away, but Domi is very hungry for the win. And, I could see him doing very, very well here potentially as well. So we're going to have to find out. We've got Cryptic very, very close as well for 7th place. A few guys that stayed on the medium tyres. Cryptic can't get the move on Sebi at the moment, but he's doing very well. Unfortunately, he won't be able to close in onto the championship leader as much now, but unfortunately, there we go. I think we can actually see the moves now, which is good. We can actually see the TV pod. As we can see as well, Kalusa getting a 3-second time penalty. Sebi then, he's right on the back of Kalusa. Sebi gets the job done. Cryptic can actually go on this run here as well. Hopefully no mistakes. Oh my god, they're going to go 3 wide into turn 9 and 10. Please don't. This could cause so many repercussions if they do that. Luckily they don't. I think one of the Mercedes in this as well. Anything can happen. This is going to be a very spicy last few laps, I've got to say. Who said you can't overtake in Russia? This could be a recipe of disaster, and I don't really want that to happen. So they got to afford not to make any mistakes here. Sebi, I think, just has the edge on Cryptic at the moment. You can see Ben is on those soft tyres. He can't afford to be stuck behind these cars for any longer, so he will want to make the move. But again, he may want to wait for other people to make a mistake. This is just so tense, really tense. But oh my goodness, Ben's going to go for the move. He risked it for chocolate biscuit, but Sebi wants that position back. Sebi wants that position back. He's going to go for it. He's going to try and defend, but with Ben's soft tyres, there was no room for error. And Sebi is down into P8. Cryptic, though, could try and get Sebi here as well. Battle for the lead, though. I think this is the one we need to be watching. This is going to be the most important battle of the night. And I think Harvard and Exana are not that far behind as well. But don't forget, penalties. Penalties could decide this race. And I'm not going to turn to penalties at the moment because I can't remember who's got what penalties. I know who has got them and who hasn't, but we do have a yellow flag that is set, unfortunately, spinning. And it looked like Seb was doing a bit of donuts there. And meanwhile, Ben just made another position on Kalisa. Ben is now up into P6. So I think the way that the strategy that's working for Ben is really paying off at the moment. For him pitting again to serve his 5 seconds. Because now he's penalty free apart from that. Otherwise he would have dropped down, I think, to about last on the grid, I think. If he still had that 5-second penalty. Anyway, we're down to the final lap. Bitto has already pulled away by a few tenths per lap. Domi, I think, has got to get the edge into turn 10. Ben set the fastest lap, so he could get the extra point. Racebug, I think, has given up, and he's got a 5-second penalty for being in the pit lane, and Racebug is out of the race. So we are down to 12 drivers in this race already. We're going to watch TX on Nixana. I think Nixana's got the job done on TX. But is Ben on those softs going to catch up to TX? It's going to be close. I doubt it. I really doubt it, but you never know. I kind of wish there was a few more laps of this race because the last half of the race has been absolutely sensational. I said the race was going to be boring, but actually it was nothing. It was not boring. It's been entertaining. So fair play to these drivers. Let's look at the ERS usage between Domi and Bitto. Bitto's on 17. Domi's on 5. So I think that's why Bitto is just about holding on here at the moment. And I think Bitto's helmet's definitely helping there as well. So this could be very, very intriguing to say the least. So Bitto has got a few more corners to go. I think Bitto has comfortably taken the race win and Domi is going to get P2. But here we go. Bitto comes across the line. He wins the Russian Grand Prix at the ERS. Domi gets P2, but who's going to get the podium? We'll have to wait and see. Nixina comes across the line. It's Ben that gets the podium. He did what he needed to do because he had no other penalties. He served his stock goes. Everyone else around him got loads of penalties. He's got P3. Absolutely incredible. But I have to say, drive of the day has got to go to Domi. He started from last and come across the line in P2. I would have loved to see Domi get the win, but he just fell short. But, you know, it happens. So Domi, I would say, has got to be driver of the day. Definitely. But Bitto, once again, race win. Who's going to stop this man? I think the only time that Bitto doesn't win is if he's not here or if he has a game issue. So, there we go. So, we're going to get the result in a second. And then we're going to think of someone to race. If any of you have any ideas on who we should raid, let us know. So, anyway, Bitto wins from Domi, from Ben, from TX, from Sebi, from Harvard, from Kalisa, Valu, Cryptic and Birkin. And Ben also gets an extra point for the fastest lap as well. So he'll be on 16 points instead of 15. But anyway, people outside the top 10, Nixana and Set. And your non-finishers are Racebug, Walter, Roms, Maverick, Azia, Max and Sleet. Quite a lot of retirements there. But all in all, it was a good race. Well done to everybody. And we've got one more race before we are at the Christmas break. We got Japan next week, and Japan always brings out some classic. I kind of wish Japan was the championship finale in real life, but unfortunately it does not happen because Japan, I just like commentating it. It's amazing. Obviously got the famous spoon curve, 130 Casio triangle, and there's only one DRS as well, so that should be interesting. So we'll have to keep an eye on who I think I should raid. We will see you next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. Have a good evening. See you soon for another stream on my channel. Bye bye.